Greetings. In this video we're going to have a quick look at taking our refined thumbnail drawings for storyboarding and see if we can fix them up a little bit, add some grayscales and stuff. Now I'm going to be using specifically the mouse for this as opposed to using a Wacom tablet, which I would usually typically recommend, but either way, let's see how we can fix this up. Now this image obviously has a bit of a rough for the storyboard, and if we have a quicker look, we can also see that they're using the red pencil or blue pencil technique, which is a great way of getting some quick sketches down and then be able to draw over using pencil or ink or Copic markers. But we do want to kind of get rid of that ink, and obviously we've got some notes and stuff on the outside and we'll want to start cropping that up. So let's have a look how we can go about doing this. And I'm going to really go quickly through some basic tools in Photoshop, and let's have a quick look at this. Now our first tool obviously is our move tool. Photoshop now has these sort of pop-ups that come and explain some stuff. You can turn those off in the preferences, but I'm going to leave that for now. Here is our layers panel, and this shows us our image as it is when it's first brought in. Now we will need to change this up a little bit, so I'll show you how to do that in a moment. A couple other quick tools that we're going to look at using are the lasso tool, and in particular I usually recommend using the polygonal lasso tool for this particular task as well. Shortcut is L for this. Shortcut for our move tool is V as well. And the other tool that we're really going to be using is the brush tool. Shortcut is B, and we do have a few options here, but for most part I think we're going to stick with the brush tool. And finally we do have the gradient tool and the paint bucket tool, which the shortcut is G. Now you can cycle through any of the shortcuts if there's multiple options by hitting shift, and then G will allow you to move that. As far as some other quick tools, spacebar will bring up our hand tool, which is down the bottom here, which allows us to move around the screen, and control plus or command plus and minus will allow you to zoom in and zoom out. So don't be afraid to zoom in and zoom out when using any of these. We've got our two main color pickers here, foreground color and background color, and you can click on these and this will bring up a color picker, but I'd kind of recommend mainly just using grayscales for storyboards at this point anyway. Alright, well let's get into it. Now first things first, I'm actually going to duplicate this layer. Now this setup that I have here with all this stuff here, this is essentially, if I go to Window, Workspace, this is the essentials. It's kind of the default sort of thing. And you'll notice there's different ways we can do this. But if you ever get stuck and you go, oh, where's my basics? You just go Window, Workspace, Essentials, and you go down to Reset Essentials. And down here we can see, the different sort of stuff that will pop up or be available. Now you may wish to clean out what's on your window and also on your view panel. I certainly do. So libraries, for example, I don't need. Color picker I'm going to leave there, and layers is definitely a big one, so let's leave that up there for now. Okay, so I'm going to duplicate this layer. A couple of ways we can do this is we can right click on this and go duplicate layer. We can also drag this down to this little icon here. Looks like a little page with the corner turned, or we can go layer, duplicate layer. So lots of ways of doing this in Photoshop. I'm just going to drag this down to that paper icon. It's kind of the one I'm used to, and this does just a duplicate of that layer. Now the reason why I've done that, number one, is the layer below is locked when we first open up our image. Now we can unlock this by double clicking on it and naming it, and that will unlock it, but I usually like making a duplicate in case I mess anything up, or I can do a comparison before and after.